Okay guys, today in this video I am going to start a Python Pandas programming for data science, and I am going to make you know that this is my first video of Python Pandas in the data science series. So in this one and whole video I am going to start the Python Pandas programming from a very basic level, and I am going to make you sure that if you are going to stuck in this video and watch this video till the end, you will be master in Python Pandas programming. So you will be able to do any kind of data pre-processing by using the Pandas tool. So let's take a deep dive into it. Here I am using the Jupyter notebook for all my code, because Jupyter notebook is a kind of good idea for data pre-processing. So here we can see what we are doing and what changes we have made. We can see them in the current window. In the same window we are seeing all our changes we have made with our data frame. So I think the Jupyter notebook is best. I think this is my personal opinion that Jupyter notebook is best for me. You can use any other ID, whatever you want to work with. So starting by importing the library, import here you can import pandas as whatever you want. You can use here import pandas as pd or whatever name you can, whatever you want. Just it is just for the sake of this short, for saving the time. So I am here taking as Yusuf. Let's go to the next cell. We start our procedure by creating a data frame first. What is the data frame in Pandas? Data frame is just like a dictionary. If you all have a basic knowledge of Python programming, then you all know the concept of dictionary in Python. Dictionary, what here we suggest some keys and then we suggest some values for it. So in Pandas programming we use this dictionary for creating our data frames. How can we do this? Let's first suggesting the variable. Here we can pd dot first I am going to suggest some key value that let's suppose that is student. Then I am suggesting values for this key. That's just my name. Second, I take okay. So this is how our data frame is created. Here it is showing the error in PD. Why is this showing the error in PD? Because I have imported the pandas as Yusuf, not as PD. So I just simply replace here with Yusuf. So there will be no problem in executing. So that's it. If we want to see what we have created so far, we just simply type here y1 and then execute. And so we can see here we have created one column, and there you are seeing 0 1 2 3. These are the index value. This is the built-in function in Pandas. If we did not declare any index values for representing these values, these key values, so this is the built-in function in Pandas that it will declare the index value by itself. So if we want to add another column in our data frame, or if we want to make a data frame of more than one column, so how will we create that data frame? just copy the upper cell. So this is our first data frame. So what I am going to add, there is another column that can be their roll number. Last one, PM. It is done, and if you want to see what we have created so far, so we just type the variable, and here you can see we have added another column here. So what we are going to do with this data frame, if we want to sort, if we want to make this in order, here you all are seeing that it is not in on the order. 60 comes first, then 74, and then 58, and then again 55. So it is not in order so far. So if what we will do, if we want to see this in the order, we just simply type the variable we declared for this data frame, and then write sort values. So here we have also an option from according to which column we are going to see this in the order. If we are going to see the roll numbers in the order, or we are going to see the students column in the order, students in the order. So according to the alphabet, or roll number will be according to the numeric values. So first I am going to make it in order according to the roll numbers. So I declare the column name, that is roll number, and it is in the order now. So you can see that it is in the order now. So what if we want to describe it in the descending order? Just write sort score values by ascending is equal to ascending. By default ascending is true, that means it is in the ascending order, it will be in the ascending order. If we write here ascending is equal to false, so let's see what happens. Okay, if we type ascending is equal to true, okay guys, we just went outside for some work. So here we just made a data frame here, and then we are doing sorting. Then we are doing then we were sorting the data according to the ascending order or descending order. So we can see here, you can see here, if the you can by default the ascending is true. You can see the and the process here we didn't declare any ascending order, any order here. So by default the ascending usually is true. So when we type ascending is equal to false, so we can declare this in the descending order. Okay, let's go to the next set. What if we want the statistical knowledge of our data set? If we want the statistical knowledge of our data set, what will we do? We just write here the variable we declare for our data set, and then we write describe, and that's it. We have total count values, and total students are 3 and total roll numbers are 3. Here the count is 3 unique, they all are unique, all 3 values are unique. Frequency is all is occurring at one time, once at a time in this whole database we have created, so frequency is 1. Okay, we can also do this by simply typing y2.info, and this will also give us all the statistical knowledge we want. All the information related to our data set is here. So okay, in the above cell, if we go to our data frame, here we have created our data frame. So and then in the same data frame we make some changes, so that changes will not be permanent until we sort the values according to the order. So these changes are not permanent. If we take the example of this one, we assign this as A. In this we have made the order descending order. Okay, and we go down here in this cell. I print one second. I have not executed this cell, that's why the problem is occurring. See, okay, there it is not showing the relay because I have stored it in the variable. So when I execute this cell, it will show that it has shown the values according to the descending order. But what we have changed in our data set, we make the order according to descending from the ascending. So this, what I am going to clear this change is not permanent until we have we write there I am just copy pasting it here until we write here in place is equal to true. then you can see this in the ascending order. It is in the ascending order, and it is permanent because I have 10 in place is equal to true. If I write it here, ascending is equal to false, and in place is also false, and then execute, it becomes in the descending order. And when I again print that the same value, you will see it is again in the ascending order. So you can see that this change is not permanent until you do the in place is equal to true. So if we make it true here, then execute this cell, and then execute this cell. So now you can see the change is permanent. If you write again y2, it will again in the descending order, and whenever you use this in this video, we are using this, we will get this in the descending order because the change we have made is permanent so far. Okay, now what if we are having multiple rows in our data frame that are the same? So what if we want to neglect or reject some rows which are repeating themselves again and again from our data frame? So what will we do here? We just create another data frame here. And this value we are taking and we are going to multiply it by 9. Next row, we are taking next value, we are going to multiply it by again 9, because if we take the different order of the row, there will be error. If we take it here 7 or 6, so there will be the error. The order of both the columns must be same. So if we want to see what we have created, y3, here we created our data frame. So here you are seeing that all the 9 rows are repeating themselves again and again. So what if we want to drop? What if we want to neglect these values? We just write what variable we have take y3 dot drop here you can see that we have removed all the duplicate rows. What if we want to do this according to a particular column? Y3 dot duplicates subset is equal to, here we will type the name for which column we are going to drop the rows. Here you can also see that it has reduced all the repeating rows here. So moving on, what we are doing. Okay. What if we want to add a column? What if we want to add a column in our data set and whose values are dependent on the values of some other column? Okay, we are going to make a database and we are going to add there a column and the values in that column are dependent on the value of some other column. So how can we do this? We can do this by simply creating another data frame. Here I am suggesting the key food and then we can okay, we have taken here the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 values here. Then I am making my next column here. Okay, then for this adding the random numbers 6, 8. Okay, we don't need to make them a string. We are just writing the integers here. 4 random numbers 9, 0, 9, 5, 6. Okay, I have just created the data frame, new data frame. Executing to the next cell. Y4, we can see our data frame here. Now our actual work, we are going to make a new column to add a new column in this our previously created data frame, and the values of that column will be dependent on the our previously declared column. Either that will be food or daily routine of my friends. So I am taking here the column food. I am going to add a new column where the values of that new column will be dependent on the values that are present in the food column. Okay, so we can do this in the two ways. So I will also going to show the two ways to you. First is the simple way. You just create a dictionary again. I have never eaten shawarma, so I don't know what is the source. I am just assuming the source here. Maybe chicken. I don't know. I have never eaten it. Chicken, and then pastry. It may be cream, and then gajar. Gajar is natural. Biryani is, there are many types of biryani, so you can type any. I like beef biryani. I just type here beef, and then end up my dish. Yes. Okay. And then ending up my dictionary. Here I have created a dictionary. Okay, and this is the key of source, key of the dictionary, that is the sources, the food, and these all are the values. This is the dictionary name, and these are the keys and values of the dictionary. Okay, let's see what happened. In our data frame we declare this y4 में what is the column name we want. We want the column name sources of food. Okay, and in this I am going to add the values according to the food column, food. This is our new column name, and I am going to add here the values according to my previously declared column, that is food. Mapping is it is the function. Actually, this is the function which I am using. The whole work our function is based on this. This is the function that will map the values according to this column values. According to the values present in the food column, our new values are mapped according to that. That's right. We make them in the lower case and then map. Just copy pasting it from here. I just prefer copy pasting because in the coding there are most of the errors in the coding are due to spelling mistakes or underscores or colon semicolon. So I just prefer, if there is not need of typing, that I will prefer the copy pasting of the coding lines. Okay, we have done our work. Here we are getting the error. Let's see. Name data is not defined. Okay, here this is not the name of our data set. Our data set is y4. Okay, you can see that is executed. If we want to see what happened in the y4, okay, it is showing this. It is declared the beacon source. It has declared pig, and what happened to the other sources? I have also declared them. Why it is showing an? Let's take. Wait a minute. Okay, what happened? Yeah, I got my error here. I am doing the spelling mistake here. Here you can see shawarma spelling here. We have to. That's why I do copy paste, because I am not good at typing. Okay, and pastry here. Just copy paste. Gajar. I made it a capital. Then biryani. Okay, and I hope that this will be fine. This will work. Here you can see that it has given the value shawarma chicken and gajar natural, and this again showing pastry is equal to 9. Why it is showing? It is also showing. Okay, now I have created a. We are getting the problem in the data frame for the spelling mistakes I have performed. So I have created another data frame for doing the similar task, and I have declared the variables here and their values, and then again I have made that so you can see that the values of the column in the column animal are dependent on the values that are present in the column food. That I mentioned, if the column if in the column of the food there comes a bacon, so the source would be pig, and shawarma chicken, pastry cream for pastry, and natural for gajar biryani beef. Another way of doing the same work is that making a function. You all, if you all know the basics of Python programming, you all are familiar with the functions in the programming language. So I am making a function here. What name I use? Okay. Sources, just sources. Here I declare series because we are dealing with the Pandas series, so I declare the series here. And we are just doing the conditions here. If in the series we are dealing with comes in the column of the food comes what comes. I am just copy pasting because you all know that there is a spelling mistake, and spelling mistakes make this all worse. It is not copy. Okay. So what it will return? It will return okay, and elif in the series food, there comes then it will return what? It will return chicken elif there comes pastry. So what it will return? It will return cream yeah, a second one. Wait a second. I have done a syntax mistake. Okay. If there comes a gajar, oh no. Yeah, we are declaring the column name. If the column is equal to gajar, then we are going to return here natural Let me check the spelling here again. Biryani, B-I-R-Y, biryani. Then return. Okay, we have created our function, so we just going to use it in our database. Our database Wi-Fi. This is the column name, not I haven't used there the function, it is just a column name. I am going to use this function in the same line. Port. My port. Converting in the lowercase, mapping it. Here we are going to use our function. I hope it will work. Oh, it is showing the error. Let's see what it is. String indices must be integers. Wait a second. Here I haven't made them strings. These are all our strings. I haven't made them strings. Okay, it will work. It is again showing the error. Wait a second, okay, if we want to assign a new variable, another method of assigning a new column according to the previously declared column is that we use the keyword with the word declared variable Wi-Fi dot assign. Here we would declare the name of the column. That could be anything. You can write sources. And for what column our new column will be dependent on. Our new column will be dependent on this column. New column values will be dependent on this column values. And what we are going to do this to this column. I'm multiplying it by 10. Not sources, it is monthly 18 schedule. Okay, and I am assigning it E, and then I will putting it where it is going to here. Okay. Okay, yeah, I haven't used the underscores. Okay, it has been executed. So if we want to see what we created, yeah, okay, you can see our new data set. Let me zoom it a little bit. So we have made here a new column that is monthly eating schedule, and the values in the column monthly eating schedule are dependent in the values present in the column daily eat routine. Okay, and what I have done, simply I multiplied them by 10. Okay, okay, moving on. So we have seen here how to remove the duplicates present in the rows. What if we want to delete the whole column that we do not want in our data set? So we can do that simply by typing what we use e dot drop column name we want to drop here is what column I want to I want to drop this column. Just copy paste it here and write this is equal to column. I am not making this change permanent, so I am writing false. If I didn't write there anything, so it is by default in place is equal to false. So I'm just writing for making you remember. Okay, so you can see here the column daily routine is not present here. Okay, and then because I have removed it, remove that column. I again type, if I again write E, I haven't made the permanent changes, so I again write E, so it will come again because I haven't made the permanent changes in my data set. Okay, if we continue on, okay, in the pandas, if we want to create a series of any series of integers, so how can we do that? We just take any variable and then use series these brackets you have to remember because these are important. First we use the small bracket and then we use, and inside the small bracket we parenthesis or small bracket, we use the large bracket. And here we declare our series. We just typing. I'm just typing random numbers. Okay, so I created for seeing this my series. I have created this series. Here you can see the series I have created. So in this way you can create the series of any integers or strings or float you want. You can also make the series of strings. I type here. Also be okay, so you can see that they can be anything. You can make them float. Okay, here you can make them float or whatever. You can make them a string or integers. So what if we want to, in this series we have created so far, in this series if we want to replace something by something else, by some non-available values, that is NaN, if we want to replace that, so what will we do? This method is very helpful for when we do data processing, because when we get the data set for any project, there are many outliers or there are many values which we do not want to be in our data set for training our model. If we train by having these values, our model will be overfit. So this technique would be very useful in our deep learning problems for processing data. So what will we do? Just take the variable we have declared dot replace. What I am going to replace here? I am going to replace here this integer. Okay, this integer I am going to replace. Let's copy pasting. And along with that integer, I am also going to replace this float. You can also replace that. I am going to you can also replace this string, but I am going to replace this float. Here also, because series I have told you to remember the order of the brackets, so in these parentheses I use the large brackets, so I am also using there the large brackets. Then I am using here NumPy. I haven't made a video on NumPy, but soon I will make a video on NumPy. I am using here a NumPy function. NumPy is also the Python library for performing the quick mathematical operations. So I am here, I am using NumPy here. Okay. And I don't want to make it permanent, so that's why I am in place is equal to false. Okay. IP is not defined. This is because I haven't import the library here. Okay, this you can see here. I replace the value 3, 4 and the above value there is coming the values 3, 4, 5, 3, 4 and 5, 7, 6, 5, 6.9, and they are not here. I have replaced them with the value NaN. Okay, then moving on, what we are going to do next. Okay, we have learned here till here that how to create data frame and then sorting the data frame according to particular order, ascending or descending on, then making permanent and non-permanent changes in the data frame and replacing the values, making the series in the pandas frame. Now further on what we are going to do in the pandas in this video is if we make any data frame. So I have told you that there is a built-in function of declaring the indexes of the column values or raw values. Okay, so I have declared the column names and the index but not the index value. What if we want to declare the index values by ourselves? And what if we want to declare the index value by ourselves, and then also if we want to change the column names? So what would we do here? I am not creating the data frame, next data frame here. I am just using the data frame I have created earlier, and where is the data frame? Here is the data frame where I have created. Let's see where I have created it. Here I am just copy pasting it down below. Here I just copy paste it and y3, let's suppose y7. What it is going to say in that. Okay, here I am. Okay, now I have if you see this data frame, there is the index values are built in. If we want to change these index values, what will we do? I just copy paste the upper line and then I double click it here and then okay, there I want to change the index value. So how many values I have taken? 3 values I have taken. So okay, index 1, 2. are you doing? Yeah. I am just fed of programming. When I become fed up of programming, then I do such kind of silly things. Okay, don't mind. It is again showing the error. What it is showing? It is showing. It is showing. It is showing. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. Three values here. Three values. I declared for the index. Invalid syntax. Again invalid syntax. Okay. Wait a second, guys. Here, wait a second. There is a syntax problem here. We have to declare it outside. Let's see. Index is not defined here. One second. Here. It is okay. You can see it has been executed. So if we type here 17, we can see we have replaced the index values from the default index value 0, 1, 2 by these index values. Okay.